And we are back. This is the Kommon Knowledge podcast. Sitting right across from me is No Idols, aka No ID, Mr. Integrity. Right to the left of me, I got KC 310. Don't mess with this man in the gym. And today we got a special guest. We got a real positive brother here, a mentor, a scholar. You know, he got a lot of accolades, a lot of achievement, an MBA in financial, in finance and real estate. Part also Alpha by Alpha. Am I correct?
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Alpha Phi Alpha. Correct. Part of a fraternity. Also in a very healthy, positive relationship with his long-term college girlfriend. I mean, wife.
She's my wife now.
For 13 years now. Real positive. So you can we about to get a lot of positive, good information from this brother. Somebody that I've been talking to for a little while and been really excited to speak to. And this is the Kommon Knowledge podcast. Here we are. How y'all feeling?
Doing pretty good, man. Good to see y'all again. Thank you for coming through, man.
Oh, man, great. Thanks for having me, man.
For sure, man.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
And I ain't even introduced myself. You know what? It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm still learning, but I feel like this is Ken, the analyst right here, the man that's sitting there trying to make it all happen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we keeping this too. I ain't gonna even edit this. I'm keeping this.
See, vulnerability is one of those things that's a virtue that people just don't really look at as a strength. Yeah. If you look at one of the most vulnerable people that was endeared to the most, and I would say maybe in recent history, DMX.
Yeah.
The most vulnerable person I ever seen. But people loved him. They gravitated towards him because he was so real. So if that's the direction you're going with, that's it.
That's one of Ken's favorite artists too. That's funny that you say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's real stuff. Yeah. But anyway, let's get started. How everybody feeling? How you feeling? No Idols.
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just also good to be in the company of somebody like yourself. You know, somebody to be strong and locked in with their spouse in this day and age, because it's like it usually is not really seen. Like commitment and things is looked down upon like that. So like, what do you think that your knack for like just commitment comes from?
Well, it comes from my household. I mean, where I grew up, and that kind of sets the tone for what you kind of look at and what you kind of pardon the pun, idolize or whatever.
Right.
You kind of look at, man, like these are the things I respect. So seeing the examples in my home of what I wanted to emulate and repeat, and also seeing examples and being a real human being of things that I didn't want to emulate, you kind of develop like your orientation. And then when you kind of go out into the world for real, you interacting with everybody, you kind of like present like I'm love for it. Genuine. I'm just putting these things out there to where I can have these relationships, and this is what I want. I do want to experience life. I do want to do different things, and this is me growing up, coming up. But, I know that, like, this is what I relish in. This feels more natural to me. And so you kind of gravitate what's natural. And being in a relationship is something that feels natural for me because I've seen it.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Sorry, from your parents as well?
Yeah, man. My parents, man, they were married, and he was my stepfather. My biological father and my mom didn't get married, but my stepfather, he's been in my life. Well, he was in my life for as long as I can remember. He unfortunately passed away when I was 16.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was he really stepped in and raised me, and put a lot of the principles and some of the things that I hold near and dear to how I move and exist in life to this day. So seeing that in their relationship, and they weren't without flaws. They had issues. They're human beings. They're a normal couple.
Right.
So they kind of like set that example for me, and I just kind of just felt natural in those environments.
I got a question on what you just mentioned. So you said that your stepfather, he is responsible for a lot of what made you who you are today. Mm-hmm. So it's a big debate online going on right now about stepfathers being like the suckers, the simps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that they don't, really bring much value to the children. And the children, they're not going to really look at him as the father. So according to you, that's not the truth, right?
Well, for me, in my specific case, I can't look at my anecdotal experience as the rule.
Right.
My situation was because all the adults in the situation it worked towards that. Like, what was best for raising my son? What was best for having this family?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's situation ain't like that. So my biological father didn't create no smoke, no drama, no, you know what I'm saying, no issues
Right.
for the household, and he didn't have any qualms about, you know, my stepfather disciplining me, or my mom didn't get in the front of my stepfather disciplining me, because that's I think that's a strong tenet of a man and a father in a relationship, being able to discipline their children.
Yes.
And that don't necessarily mean beating them or whooping them like that, but that is a part of that equation.
Mhm.
So my mom didn't have an issue with it. My stepfather didn't create drama or issue. I mean, my biological father didn't create drama or issues. And my stepfather was a positive man.
Right.
You know, he's a flawed human being. Everybody's flawed.
Mhm.
And I don't want to paint this picture that anybody is, you know, beyond like the human experience, because that's not true. But my stepfather, he was a positive man. You know, he had a great career, and he was a computer programmer. And that was one of the things I got kind of like my knack with interacting with technology at an early age. Like in the early 90s,
Mhm.
everybody didn't necessarily have computers in their homes like that. I had a computer in my home because he had one.
Right.
He would be able to work remote back then.
He was working for
He was
Ben
working remote back then.
ahead of the curve. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, like having that equation be that is not the typical experience in those situations. So I can understand where some people feel in today's society where having a relationship is more transactional versus like getting to know somebody and being somebody like, man, hey,
Mhm.
I rock with you because I like you.
Right.
I want you to be with me because I feel like we can build, we can do something together.
Mhm.
Versus like how it was with them, you know, that's what they were, and it wasn't like, man, what can you do for me, or not just what can you do for me. So nowadays, that's what that is, and men may take the position like, hey, you want all this money, you want all this time, you want all this extra effort, and you're not giving me anything of value.
Right.
So, or things that I value personally, or some men, what society's telling me I should value.
Mhm.
You gotta be very careful of that too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a complicated situation.
Right.
I can understand that. That's why you was one of the brothers I always came up to, because you know the way I see you move in your relationship and just black love. Period. You always put your wife, you know, in every post. You just always carry yourself extremely well.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
One of my how, you know, what was your life earlier before you got married, right? So like, what was your longest relationship before the marriage, and you know, how did you carry yourself before you became the stand-up man that you are today?
Well, thank you for saying that, by the way. In general, like I said, I've always been a relationship guy. Like, obviously in grammar school and whatnot, you know, you had your little girlfriends here and there, you know, experiment here and there, blah, blah, blah. Nothing real serious. You're in grammar school.
Yeah.
You know, you making mistakes, blah, blah, blah. I got to high school, and, you know, my high school sweetheart and I, you know, that was, you know, I met her my junior year, and she came in as a freshman. So, you know, junior, freshman, you know what I'm saying, dynamic. Yeah. And, you know, we were together for almost 4 years before, you know, maybe 3 years before we ended up, you know, breaking up. Mm-hmm. And ironically, around the time when we broke up, like soon after that, I met my current wife. You know, I ended up meeting her in college my freshman year. And, you know, we had both just got out of long-term relationships and was like, man, you know, we not looking for no long-term relationship. We're not looking for no kind of situation like that. Mm-hmm. We just want to be friends. Let's be cool. And that was the thing that kind of drew me to her. Not that dynamic, but the element of me being connected to her and who she was, and I really genuinely like being around her and spending time.
Yeah.
So to answer your question directly, my longest relationship before marriage was 9 years to my current wife.
Oh,
okay.
I was about to be like, what? But yeah, for sure.
That's a long amount of way to say my longest relationship is 9 years. I married her, so we were 9 years before we got married. And we've been married for 13 years.
That's
so
beautiful.
It's
So you saying-
I was a normal guy, man. I was a frat boy. You know what I'm saying? College. You know what I'm saying? So I kicked it. I made mistakes. I did stuff I wasn't supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Within the confines of, you know what I'm saying, respectability.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, doing what's going on nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't at the Diddy party. I told them.
But like you saying, is 9 plus the 13 or 13 including the 9?
9 plus 13.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we've been together
22
man,
years.
We grew up together, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so like, cause like, you know, I've been with my wife. This is our 16th year. We're about to be going on 17 years, but we've been together that long, and I just count that as marriage that long, because I also look at marriage itself as like not just a document or a title, because it's like, you know, who officiated, you know, Jonah's wife. I mean, like who officiated, you know, back in those days. So like, I never look at least think of people like separating relationships, long-term relationships and marriage. So how do you look at that? Because like if you see somebody that's been together for 20 years, they be like, but I ain't married. I'm like, are you not married? like,
well, I mean, there's different ways to look at it. You got the common law element of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been together in the eyes of the state. You've been together in the same dwelling for a certain amount of time. You know, they consider you essentially married depending upon where you live. If you've been acting in the role of a married person for so long, then you're essentially married. You just haven't taken the most important step of that if you're a spiritual or religious person, which is taking that covenant and actually saying, hey, declaring it in front of your friends and your loved ones and family, and saying that this is the person I'm unifying with, and I'm no longer myself as an individual. I'm unified with this one person. We're one.
Mm-hmm.
So marriage begins when you make that covenant before God, and you have that unification in that moment. But being together, committed is the veneer of all of it. You can be committed and not be married. So I say being committed is a very important tenet of being married, but you're not married until you take that covenant. You have that ceremony to symbolize the end of the two and the beginning of the one.
did you like, so like after the 9 years, y'all think y'all get married? When y'all come back together, was y'all like, okay, now everything is like different right now? Cause like I didn't really have that moment for myself, cause like, you know, I had been dedicated to this way of life even before the altar.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel a huge difference?
Absolutely, man. Because I mean, there was a way out before.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Like I had in my mind, and I know my wife gonna see this, and I'm pretty sure she felt the same way. It was like, man, if it get bad enough,
I can just go.
I can just
Right.
walk away at any moment, But as a married man, now that's off the table.
Mhm.
Like I need to do whatever is possible to make sure that I do what's necessary from my perspective to make sure that the marriage works and provide the environment for my wife to be the best version of herself so she can give me what I need. So ain't no walking away.
Oh yeah, we locked in. Like,
We gotta lock in.
you upset? Go take a break and come on back.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let's go.
And that's okay. And a lot of people look down upon what other married couples do or whatever. And I know there's a religious undertone and backing of how you should operate within a marriage or whatever. There's rules to this that's in the word, but it's a covenant between you two and God, and you just kind of have to just set the rules that work for y'all based upon y'all experiences and y'all traumas and things that y'all working through. And I personally think that that's okay. If, hey man, right now I'm super irritable based upon my life and what's going on with everything I have. I need to have my own separate house. If that's cool with y'all and y'all not doing nothing that y'all don't agree with, that's y'all marriage. And should nobody else really have nothing to say to that if they're not gonna add value or be supportive to y'all marriage.
That's my goal right there, to be together but living apart.
Okay.
So that's something that I would be into. Like, we have our own separate houses, but we together. We committed. We not cheating or nothing, but we got our own space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We could come together whenever we want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even to speak about that the whole living separate but being together, you have to be disciplined, right?
Mhm.
So I don't even think that works for a lot of people. I don't even think that's realistic because now the whole urges, the whole you just doing the right thing and not falling victim to whatever your vice is, or whenever you get upset, now you know when somebody's going to come to your house or and everything, that leaves room to sneak or do things that you don't supposed to do. So I don't even think that's like realistic when most people say that. Because when most people say that, they be like, let's live separate. I feel like you still you ain't closed all your doors yet.
You can't stop somebody from cheating, whether y'all live in the same house or not, though.
Yeah,
so if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat. So it don't matter if we live together or we live separate. You're gonna find a way. Most couples live together and they still cheat on each other.
Yes, but it's a whole lot more harder. It's more of a headache. It's more so if you put more of a struggle to do something, it make a person tend not to feel like it's worth it or not. But yeah, some people that's dedicated to do it, some people that got an addiction, some people that just simply can't stop, then yeah, you're right, they will find a way. But for ones that don't have all those issues, but just got the free will, it'll be like, it's not even worth it. And a lot of people, and life is life, right? Mm-hmm. But to go back to like one of your earlier statements when you was like, the marriage made it so that we can't walk away, we can't break up. Even before the marriage, when you with something, it's not easy breaking up with no one. No, whether you're married or not.
That's why a lot of people ghost each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is not.
Yeah, that's extremely bad.
Wow, it's like, man, you just stop asking my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it is unrealistic for an unhealed person or an uncommitted person or people to do the things that they have to do. Discipline itself is hard. As a man that work out, you know what I'm saying? I know you can really relate to this. Like man, sometimes you feel like you wake up, you got hit by a truck.
Yeah. You still got to do it.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna land no name. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like, you still got to go.
Still got to go.
You still, and
stop.
And that's the same thing. When discipline applies to all things, that's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see the value of the person that you have connected, who you've chosen, who you choose every day, you don't want to do nothing to really mess that up. And if you show up the best version of yourself by having these circumstances and your partner's okay with it and your partner has everything that they need out of you in their life, and you providing that environment for them, man, you got to do it. You got to go. You got to do what you got to set your situation up.
Yeah. Other question. Have you always been? Are you selective of your friends? Right. So are you selective of the guys? I know you're in the brotherhood. Are you selective of who you put your energy around? Right. So you got in today's society, you got a lot of people that feel like, hey, test the, live your best life. Be with who you want to be with. A lot of people are against, or not, I don't want to say against, but just, living a double life and perfectly fine with it. People that's like that, do you find yourself staying away from them?
To answer your question definitively, I'm going to get in the habit of directly answer your question and then elaborate. Because that whole circle back sometimes, you're like, what? Yes, I am selective. However, the caveat to that is, I am loyal too. I have several long-term friendships that I've been friends with these guys since, first, second, sixth grade. You know what I'm saying? So I do have new friends too, people I've met along the way in my journey of life, and I feel like you need to be open to all of these different people, and whatever season of the life that they come in, you gotta interact with them. Bless them, and they let them bless you. Yeah. Even if it's something they're not intending to do, the sheer fact that you met them and you interacting with them is for a reason. The sheer reason that me and you vibe so well is to have this podcast get this message out. Who I would be a fool to, like tell God like, no, I don't want to mess around. I don't feel like it. I don't want to deal with them. So yes, I am selective for sure. Yeah.
But even when you say that, right, and to go back to that, even when I met you, it's like same with my brother right here, No ID, same with KC. Like, both of these people are two very, very serious people, right? So they, for me personally, I had to, my past is my past, but I'm looking for change, right? So I'm gravitating towards people that's about where I'm trying to go to or change, or treat myself seriously. So like when it comes to KC, he's real heavy in the gym. I'm kind of lazy in real life, So this man hits me up and like, yo, we hitting that gym. I'm like, man, he was like, come on, let's hit the gym. And then we go to the gym and everything, sometimes twice in one day. We're walking out of there with spaghetti legs.
Insanity. Insanity.
I'm gonna hit you up.
You know,
man, you solid next song.
Same thing with no, these real. This guy is built on integrity. You know, so it's like there's no having no conversations about infidelity or stuff like that because it don't work in his network, and it's basically how he moving his brand and him being a family man. So he's a role model just across the board. So when it comes to, and even when it comes to you, just how you carry yourself, right? So the reason why I asked that, the reason why it's like that's a real serious question is because, I'm pretty sure that anybody or any of your long-term friends, I'm pretty sure they can't just come to you and be like, yo, man, I just had this chick at the crib, show you some video footage. I'm pretty sure that you don't allow that at all.
Of course they can't do that as we record on a live entertainment. Of course they would never do something like that.
Chucking the grenade.
Okay, agent.
I'll do it again. but
We got the polygraph.
Yeah, but to really ask another question is, how do you handle people that do move in that way, and what advice do you give them, or how do you speak to them, or how do you handle that relationship?
Good question, man. So as I said, I am selective, but I am loyal. My wife and I had this conversation, maybe about a week or two ago, ironically. Her opinion, and I'm probably gonna paraphrase this extremely roughly, but try to get the general idea out of it. Not to say exactly what she said, but her opinion on the situation is that if you're not operating in the ways that she needs you to operate in terms of being healthy, being non-toxic, available to actually interact and maintain a relationship, the relationship in terms of friendship, then there's no reason to expend energy on you, and y'all don't need to, be connected. There's no love lost, but it's like, let's go ahead and cut that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's wasted time. Me personally, I have a difference of opinion on that because I understand what she's saying, and she's right, because energy is finite, and you don't want to give it up too much, and you don't have nothing for yourself and the people that matter the most in your life.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like we have a calling on our lives as we go through our natural flow and where we are. You know what I'm saying? You're not only in it for that transactional thing I'm talking about. Yeah. You're not only in it for what they can do for you, but what can you do for them? How can you bless them? What about you is something that they need, and I might be friends with somebody that, got 17 baby mamas and, you know what I'm saying, a wife at the crib and some girlfriends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I still love that person because the other like characteristics of that person, and I don't like come around creating like a judgmental environment. But that's what I see. Yeah. I feel like I'm the spook sat by the door, right? I'm close to him, so I can say things to him that he might be able to get that other people that can't get through and say what they need to say to him. So those nuggets can like you trying to shift, like slowly erode away some of those like bad characteristics. Yeah. With the big caveat, the biggest caveat of it all is if you're somebody that's doing things that will put me and my family and people I love in danger, I'm gonna distance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying, you grimy, you robbing folk, you know what I'm saying, hey man, nah man. What's up, fam? We on the phone. I'm talking on the phone. So that's still that loyalty, that connection, that love. Yeah. But that distance is gonna keep what's most important to me, myself, my family, my wife, and keep everybody safe.
That's really good because now that you put it that way, that kind of helps a person that, that can make them want to just change, just be a better person. So yeah, that's pretty good. I know when I was in Texas, this is around the time when I was really trying to, right my wrongs and just be a better person and pick a better path. And it was this person in the complex. I'm just gonna call him Tall, but he had the whole complex on lockdown. Like when it came to like all the females females was leaving notes on his car. It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he had hit me up. He was like, "Yo, man, we got let's hit the spot up. Let's hit a club or something up." And I think with a lot of people in today's time, I think the reason why a lot of people cheat is because they can't break the bad habit, right? I think, when you start off with this dealing with multiple people, it's extremely difficult to cut that off. I know some people say when you find that lucky one or that loved one, you'll do it for them. But even then, there's still old doors you have to close, and it may not be so easy to close because you got some people that just been there for you from day one, no matter what. And they even tell you, like, they're like, hey, I don't even care if you're in a relationship or not. I'm still rocking with you. So that can be, difficult to let go.
But it's like that. That's
everything.
100.
Yeah. So, I remember, like, back to Texas, so, like, I remember, I used to go to the club a lot when I was younger. Like, we used to go to the club, like, it could be on Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, like, whenever they was open, we was there. And I remember when I was in Texas, he was like, yo, we had to hit the spot up. And it was a trigger for me because I knew where that was going to take me. I knew the rabbit hole that was going to take me back down. I know my personality. I know my character. And I know, it's like almost like I know the damages is already done and how long you can stay in it. Because I see a lot of people older in their 40s still doing the same thing. And it's like, yo, so that's why I asked, like, are you real particular? Because I know now I'm, like, particular now. So now, if someone was to be, like, that's living a double life or just have multiple, because I'm in a relationship now,
Congratulations.
Working on, marriage and everything like that now. Shout out to Crystal, my babe.
Crystal Bay, what up?
you about to jump that broom? I ain't know that, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, man.
But I'm working on, but it's a thing now when I'm looking at my age now. So it's like, all these things come into play. So it's like now it's get to a point where you got to grow up and mature up. And, but also I just found it difficult to, how you put it, like, yo, I can't block another blessing or, not give somebody good advice to help them change. But for me, it's just like, I can't. Well, I personally can't play around with it.
Let me say this. So let me tell you something about that, man. Like, when you're dealing with people, you don't have to deal with people on the same terms you dealt with them before. You can deal with people how you need to deal with them on whatever your new terms are. You have an old relationship, you can approach that old relationship in a new way. So I'll give you an example. A few of my homies, man, we used to be outside. We used to go to the club all the time. But like, just like you described, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year, man, we outside. It was just what we did. And I love them. Like, man, they're my brothers. But I don't do that like that no more. Number one, I don't drink. Number two, I just, I need my sleep. So
right.
Honestly, man, like, I enjoy the club still, you know what I'm saying? But in doses. And I ain't got no love lost for them. However, there's a myriad of things that I can do to interact with them to maintain the relationship to where it's not the same way we used to interact with them. I'm going to interact with them in a way that's consistent with who I am now. So one of the guys I play golf with, we go play golf. You know what I'm saying? The other same guy, we might double date with our ladies. You know what I'm saying? Or we go check these restaurants out, take our ladies to the show or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One of my other guys, man, I just go to his crib. You know what I'm saying? We just watch the game and just hang out, just spend time, just catch up, man. How your parents doing, man? What's going on? Cool. So it's like you evolve. That doesn't disqualify this person from being a part of your life. You just have to show up and interact with them however you show up. And if they're your friend, and if it's not just a one-dimensional relationship, it's okay that y'all can just, not do what y'all used to do no more. Yeah. If y'all relationship was strictly based on doing what y'all used to do, then that might be considered something that you might want to consider letting go.
Because that's what I'll say. Because with how you are, even if they're not changing with you, you can still be that example, be that light in their life. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it. Because it's like, somebody got to grow. And then when other people see that growth, they might be inspired by it. So it's just like, you don't even want to separate from people that may not be growing as fast or in the same way as you are. So it's good that you like that for them, for sure.
Yeah.
You guys on KC? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's soaking in.
Yeah.
I'm soaking in game.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of the last questions, and we're gonna move on to something else. But how do you feel about a lot of older people, like when you see a lot of single women looking for a relationship, but they simply can't find one? A lot of older, a lot of men in our 30s and plus still out here looking for a relationship and feel like they can't. There's no woman out here. Do you feel like it's them? Is it just them, or do you feel like me personally? I feel like a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people is in this world called relationship hell, and it's just a bunch of soulless individual with unrealistic relationship goals. You know, how do you feel about when you see it? About you being in a 13-year plus healthy relationship and you see so many other people struggling to find somebody. What do you think is the cause of that?
As a person, you have to focus in on the first thing you could do. It's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do in response to what happened. Like, what's your response, right? And so with that energy and that mantra, you have to like hyper focus on becoming the best version of yourself first. And not exclusively, but as you're dating, as you're interacting and meeting people, not just people for romantic relationship, but people for, people that you trying to be cool with, trying to kick it with, trying to develop a relationship, business relationship. There's all these different multifaceted levels of relationship. Whoever you're interacting with, you only show up and attract you. You attract you. Yeah. So it's like if you're not healed or if you're not, growing, if your intellect is not evolving, if you're not doing the things you need to do as a human being to become better and better, and I mean, some people, it's not this, but for me to get closer to God, then you're not going to meet the right people for you for the best version. So all in all, the equation is improve yourself, show up the best version of yourself in this environment. You start attracting different things. You start being attracted to different things. Yeah. And once you show up in that way, you'll go to different places. You'll show up in places that you were before differently. Yeah. You'll meet people that you may not have interacted with or some people you may have ignored. And then those relationships, it's like an exponential growth. It's like you wouldn't have even met this person. So you wouldn't have never been in this situation this person would have put you in when they taught you what they taught you or brought you what they brought you. Yeah. So it's like you have to hyper focus in on being the best version of yourself. And when you do that, it just kind of unlock everything. Focus in on, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, focusing in on understanding what God want me to do. Focusing on the word, focusing on improving myself. Like, man, I need to increase my bench press, numbers. I need to do 20 pull-ups this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking to you, Casey.
Yeah, we're gonna get you, Casey.
You like that one. So focus in on working on yourself to be the best version of yourself, and you'll show up in different environments better, and you'll attract different things. You'll be attracted to different things. That's the biggest thing too. If you have to look at what you're attracted to. Like some people are attracted to things that are harmful to them. Like some people love cake. They love cake. They love cookies. Yeah. Well, fam, you got diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to not eat that. You know what I'm saying? So you go to the gym, you start eating healthier. You start getting friends that work out, or they have they're dietitians, or maybe doctors, or people different people you meet. You get in a better situation based upon you taking the first steps of improving yourself. And that just changes your whole disposition. And pretty soon, you don't even like cake and cookies no more. Or that drive to bring you to that substance or that thing is diminished to the point to where it don't have a hold on you.
So basically, with dating right now in my life, I basically took a vow of abstinence so that I could get myself together. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be a better version of myself that I never been. And, I ended up messing up my previous relationship with somebody because lack of appreciation of that person and still being in these streets like that. So, I had to take a step back and really look at what's going on, but also the options out here, they not really that good. So it's like, I'm seeing a lot of people that's they looking to come up in a relationship, but they not looking to give anything. So they want to come to the man to support and sponsor a lifestyle for them, and they want to give the bare minimum. So, it's more of them that I'm seeing than not. So
what you creeping up in age right now and still being in the dating market, how do you see it changed from when you was like in your 20s to being a single man like now in your 30s?
In my 20s, it was freaky, man. In my 20s, you already, it was freaky. We don't worry about none of that. But it's like, as you age and you trying to become more stable in the dating market and find something that's actually meaningful, it wasn't just the guys that was getting freaky. And you realize that at 30, because a lot of these chicks, they are freaked out too. And they into some stuff. They into some stuff that'll blow your man. Like, you really doing that? Because it's like, it's making me look conservative. You know what I'm saying? Because they was really into some stuff. But, in my opinion, I think the way that we could fix this is more people abstaining and stop saying yes and, really getting to know people. Because, back in the day, somebody say, hey, I need to get to know you first. I'd be like, what is you talking about? But it makes more sense because you shouldn't be exchanging energy and just laying down with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just about the sex. It's about the transference of energies from this person to this person that could contaminate your soul. And I'm seeing that more and more as I age, and it's not making sense to, mix my life with somebody else that I'm not trying to have there for a decent amount of time.
Yeah. Correct. With women having that biological clock, sometimes like as they get up in age, they start being more on the hunt, more on the prowl. Yeah. So are you feeling more pressured, or is it like?
I'm not feeling pressure, man. I could think 25.
I said not how if you feeling pressure, but like, are they more strong? Are they coming on more strong?
Yeah. After 30 for sure, it's like, especially if they don't have kids. Like a woman that's 30 years old or better without children, like I dated a woman that was 40. And as soon as I started dating her, she's like, yeah, I want to have a baby. I'm like, oh. You know what I'm saying?
She jumped right in there.
She said, but she had a nice house, nice cars, and she was trying to reel me in.
She knew what she wanted.
Yeah, she wanted to have that baby. And I was like, no. Because first off, she was popped. I ain't gonna
so we not really thinking about the baby itself, but you also pop, so no, they can't.
Like I can't jam up my genetics with yours. It's 50-50 chance. It's like it could either come out looking like me or you or both, and the both I don't even want that one.
Right. It's funny. It's funny. First of all, I must take a half a step back and say that I want to comment on you saying 30 or better. I like how you put that. And second of all, to directly comment on what you was just leaving off at, I gotta say, man, that's the crux of it all. You don't really see yourself with this person for any substantial amount of time. So it's like, that's the thing. Like, man, I know we have to get better at this, especially, I know it's harder when we're younger. Because it's like, man, I'm just trying to get that off, man. It's all good. Like, she alive? She consent? All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta move, like, better, because if she's not somebody that you can't see yourself with long term, physically, number one, mentally and personality wise, number 2 and 3, and you shouldn't even really be dealing with her. And if things were to happen or unfold naturally, ultimately as life does, then that's okay. You know what I'm saying? So when you interacting with people that don't qualify, you putting yourself at dispositions like that, and you wait and you running them numbers up.
Yep.
And you don't have to.
You gotta protect your life source.
And I want to go back to one more thing. Earlier you said, it's people doing things that they're attracted to. Like how you use the logic of the diabetic and the person that love cake. I think in a lot of situations, I don't even think they're attracted to it. I just think they don't even know no better. Like they don't know no other world, right? So when your whole entire world is everybody, just being with person to person, and your entire circle is like that. The music you listen to, the TV show you're watching, no one's in a positive relationship, or everybody's making it seem like it's okay to cheat and it's normal, and it's really not. And it turns into like, it's not that you're attracted to it, it's just that you haven't came across a role model that actually did what you're thinking about or what you're trying to do, right? So when I hear that, it's like, man, it kind of sucks for a lot of people. That even for me, I'm great. I feel grateful because there's other people that don't have this type of circle. So it's other people that's around chatty patties, it's around negative people, it's around people that would give we'll get our advice from somebody that we really look up to, and that person we look up to is a scumbag. Right?
Yeah.
And then we'll just juggle what he or she just gave us. Like, oh man, I'm going through relationship problems. And the best thing to do is get underneath somebody else. And you just go do that. And then it's like, it's like, well, dang, that wasn't the best advice, but I took his advice because he looked like he's doing decent when really he's not, So it's just it turns into one of them things where you really have to be, I think you really have to be mindful of the circle of who you're around, what energy you take, and who you're listening to. And, even though you say you shouldn't judge people and still be a good friend, I also think that if they're not willing to listen to learn, and they still want to creep that type of energy around, it do become one of the things where you may need to miss a phone call or two.
I mean, I kind of understand that position, man. I mean, I got to say, man, just in general, it's unfortunate for those people that don't know what they don't know, So they're in a situation, their environment is totally conducive to one particular lifestyle and one particular thing, and that's all they know, and they think that they're doing not what's right, but they think that they're doing them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think there's, in general, I know the difference between right and wrong that certain cultures don't support, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the people that are in your life that's doing that, and they're like trying to undermine your efforts, you have to protect what you're trying to do, man. Like, where you trying to go, where you trying to be, you have to protect that and be bold about it.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the end of the day, as you describe your situation and how you started like changing and started seeing, for me, what I understand that to be is that's God's grace. Like, the difference between you and somebody else that lived the same way that you lived and that didn't survive is God's grace. That you was able to get through that and
unscathed.
You was able to see something that sparked the idea for you to change, or you lived through something that made you want to change and go a different way.
Yeah.
So that's God's grace, and you hope that everybody kind of run into those situations where they're able to have that and use that as a launch pad to a new life. But a lot of people go in them same circles.
Yeah.
And if they unwilling to respect what you got going on and still love you in a way that you're allowing them to have that relationship, then you got to move that on. Like Tupac say, I ain't mad at you. That's what we're talking about in the song.
That's some of the best advice ever.
That's what he was talking about in the song, man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, I see you trying to go to the mosque and trying to taste tail. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he talking about. He like, man, you trying to do different, man. We still hustling. Yeah. It's cool. Go ahead. I ain't mad at you. You got to have people like that.
Yeah.
That's real. I just wanted to jump in real quick. So, like, with you being, like, go back to your academic side, with you being in a fraternity, what exactly does that mean? Especially, like, for people that's like not educatedly well-rounded.
So, a fraternity, essentially, what it bears down to the basic meaning of fraternity. It just means a brotherhood. That's all it really means. Now, you have different spices. You have different takes on that brotherhood. You have different focuses and goals and aims of that brotherhood. My fraternity is manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind. That's what we aim towards. We have different programs in the community, national programs that we align ourselves to kind of help aid the community in which we come from. We was founded by 7 men in Cornell University, December 4th, 1906. And those men came in an environment where it wasn't welcoming for blacks. They had a lot of black collegiate students that, attended school and would leave because they weren't supported. They didn't have the resources and everything that they needed. They didn't have that environment that they needed to academically succeed. So they came together, created the social society, social club, literary organization, and ultimately it evolved into a fraternity. And that brotherhood grew from where that started in that one campus, and now it's an international organization, still based upon those tenets, let me provide this environment for my brothers. Let me create this network for my brothers who are, it's ultimately about leadership development and, providing resources and sharing resources so they can go back to their communities and lead and provide that leadership and the things that their individual communities and circles of influence can provide, that they need. So that's kind of really what it is. You got different flavors for it, like you might have different personality types that go one way versus different other personality types that go another way. And then of course, you got a whole nother side when it comes to Caucasian fraternities. They have different but similar approach to that whole thing. But it's essentially at the crux of what a fraternity is. It's a brotherhood.
Right. So it's like y'all still, even after, cause that's like a lifelong thing, y'all tied in that way.
Absolutely, man. It's a lifelong commitment. I think that might be one of, I don't want to speak ignorantly here, but, from when I have conversations with, people that might be in other races or other demographics, they ask, like, you still doing fraternity stuff and ain't that college stuff? Like, when I see them, I'm like, oh, yeah, y'all did it for social stuff and, to be able to put this on your resume and get the network.
Right.
But this wasn't a lifelong thing for you. This was a college thing. For us, for the Divine Nine and for Black Greeks in general, this is a lifelong commitment to empower ourselves, better ourselves, and allow us to, to become the best version of ourselves so we can go back to our communities and, be that beacon, be that source of whoever our circle of influence is and, be able to give back and help solve some of the issues that we run against, so we have to be, we don't have that luxury that other demographics have to not be committed to the fight. It's a lot of institutions that don't exist in the same way. They're being undermined by all these different whatevers, you want to say, whether it's social media, whether it's the state of music with the music and the industry perspective, or whatever, news, 24-hour news, all these different influences that are undermining and eroding these different institutions that provide positive influences on our community. Like, this is one of the things that still exists to this day that's focused on building community and building leadership within the community to make them a better version of themselves so they could reach the American dream and beyond.
Shout out to the fraternities, man.
Yeah. So, one of your accolades, I see that you are also a mentor, part of the Brotherhood Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
How did that get started? When did it start? And how many people have you helped and everything?
So thanks for asking that question, man. We are a new foundation. We just established ourselves a couple of months ago, and we're still working through the beginning stages of this thing. Essentially, what it was a few of my colleagues and I, we came together. We saw a need where there was an increasingly need for resources, mentorship, and just general guidance in that college space. Because as you see, there's a lot of different things that's undermining college, the whole college experience or even going to school and what's that's like. Everything from, pushing trades. There's nothing wrong with trades. And I say that as a disclaimer. They make the world go round. Everything from truck drivers to plumbers to, we need those professions.
What about Domino's Pizza?
I like Domino's.
All right, 'cause I look for Domino's. I want some love too, brother.
Man, let me get that Supreme joint. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. Bring the wings too. I think the trades is a valuable industries to have, and I'm not undermining that, but you still need to make sure you maintain the collegiate experience in college in general. So the issue is all of these different things. As we was talking off camera, we were saying how, man, college just, don't seem like it is what it is. And the job market is, gaslighting people and people going on 4 or 5 interviews and getting ghosted. Yeah. So it's all these different things that's undermining the value of a college degree. And what's really happening and what we're really experiencing in real time is the shift of industry in the growth in the change of direction of the economy. Mm-hmm. If you look back on the advent of the automobile, right? There was plenty of industries propagated upon the major modes of transportation, which was railroad, horse and carriage, right? Mm-hmm. When the automobile got invented, that killed the horse and carriage model. When I say it killed it, like you think about somebody,
except for the Amish community.
You always talking about these Amish people is out.
They holding it down for sure. But I mean, that's only like a
KC said he saw him
%. You know what I'm saying?
He said he saw him at the Oasis.
I think some Amish in an Uber.
I don't believe. That's what they believe. Yeah. They're supposed to be in that horse and buggy. I understand.
It's actually a popular Amish dude. Well, he not Amish no more. He left the community, but he a truck driver.
Really?
Yeah, but he still, when he go home to see his mother, he had to keep his hat on in her house to respect their beliefs.
Okay.
But not to derail too much from your point, but you was talking about automation and the thing, industrialization killing old industries. Mm-hmm. So it's like you feel like that's still happening right now.
That's exactly what's going on right now, and that's why I was landing that plane saying that you kind of see we're living in that transitory time right now. Like right now, we're seeing the advent of all of these technologies and stuff that people are learning and they're incorporating in their business models to make things more efficient and increase their margins so they can make more money. Everything is a profit driven in a capitalist society.
Oh yeah.
Let me get this money. Mm-hmm. So with the invention of AI and being on the precipice of like quantum computing and all these different, fusion energies and all these other technologies and stuff that'll fundamentally shift how society works. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a huge shift of what society needs.
Yeah.
In terms of the value that the community can bring to society. Yeah. Versus what the skill set that the current society has, and that difference is a growing pain. You got somebody that, man, like tying it back to the horse and carriage, like, man, I've been shoveling crap for years for the horse and carriage industry. I'm the best crap shoveler. I can get 30 pounds a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the best that ever did it. Right. Like, bro, we ain't got horses and carriages though.
Yeah, killed that whole industry. Yeah.
So it's like, right. I mean, I hate to compare it to shoveling crap, but I use that to illustrate the point. That skill set is no longer applicable to where we're going. Mm-hmm. So now it's incumbent upon ourselves as, leaders in our community, in our space, to figure out, hey, where's this thing going? What can I learn to put myself in position to be a highly sought after individual? How can I attract that job?
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Not so so to put that rubber stamp on all of it, go back to that first question. Yeah. We need to continue to encourage young men and young people in general to go to college, to get the degrees that's going to matter to the society of the future. Yeah. So providing that guidance, that mentorship, the resources, the scholarship dollars is what the concentration of the Brotherhood Foundation is all about, and that's what we're working towards. We take scholarships through grants, where we give scholarships out through the grant dollars, fundraisers, and we also are working on other pay structures that will create revenue to be able to give back out to the young men.
But the problem that I'm seeing is it's a lot of people that's going to college to do what they want to do, and they not really going strategically to get the jobs that we need covered. Mm-hmm. So it's going to really fall upon the people to really go to college with a plan, with a game plan on, I'm going here so that I could get this job so that I could supply this need. It's too many people that's going there just to do anything, like just getting a psychology degree with no plan to go into medical school, stuff like that. It's just people just going there, or in fashion design and stuff like that. It's like, you don't go to college for that. You got to go with a plan. You got to actually activate. And
And to your point, I mean, absolutely. Those degrees and those concentrations are still valid and valued, but you can't go with it. You can't go there, to your point, without a plan or a course of action or supplemental qualifications that will set you up for success moving towards the future. And that's one of the things that the Brotherhood Foundation does. It provides that mentorship. It provides that avenue for, hey, let me show you which way to go. Let me show you how to, set yourself up so when you come out of school, you do have this debt if you had to take out loans, but you also have this like solid plan to bring in money to be able to cover that debt and be able to make a living for yourself in the society that's going to be in the future, not the society that was.
Right.
So, that's kind of the purpose of that and what we, aim to do and make sure that we keep these colleges functional and open. And it's not also college. Here's another thing. College is also not about just going to school to further your education academically.
Right.
It's also a way for you to grow and develop socially because emotional intelligence and being social is super important. It's just as important as the academics. If you don't know how to operate or move socially, or if you don't understand how to network or, how to converse with people or do whatever, you're at a serious disadvantage. You can have all the skills in the world.
Yeah.
But you cooked. You cooked.
Yeah, because it's crazy that you even looking at that like for just adults, but I be figuring that out like what kids work with homeschooling, just having a kid in a private or public school just around other kids, that social and emotional intelligence that's built with that. Yeah, but you carry that into adulthood as well. With how you are valuing college and thinking that everybody needs to go to college. How do you feel about Joel Santana saying that, he doesn't think that knowing how to read will be as valuable in the future for kids because of AI and things like that?
Shit early, because by the time they get to 9th grade, they should be just learning how to start businesses and
can't read
and how to. But they don't really need to know how to read.
Wait, stop.
I ain't gonna say that. I say that respectfully. I'm not saying that in a way to be literate because you're not supposed to be illiterate, but you can.
What's more important, reading or math?
Math.
Told you.
Math. I think you could listen to a book on YouTube. You can still obtain the information. And you don't have to know how to read.
So let me take a half a step back and say that I don't think everybody should go to college, but I think that the college should still be as valued and it should still be a significant amount of people that do pursue that journey because it's going to help them grow, develop, and attain different levels that they wouldn't necessarily would have developed. They wouldn't be forced to develop if they would have just went straight into a job or started a business. And business that's something that's important, but everybody it's not for everybody, and that's for real. But I don't think people should use that as an excuse. But that brings me to my point about the Joel Santana thing. Shout out to Joel's, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hold on.
Yeah, I got you.
Joel's is one of them guys, man. I think personally that Joel's could have been like in the GOAT conversation if he would have had a
right there with Lil Wayne. He was right there.
He had hope.
GOAT conversation, man.
The whole I can't feel my face moving.
Yeah. He was like one of the major movers of the whole Dipset situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like we the same age. We literally the same age, me and Joel's. So I remember that time.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, that brings me to the point of valuing college and school and how different forces undermine that whole thing. And that statement that he said came exactly from that spirit. It's like, man, like society in general is saying all this stuff that don't make sense. Reading, I hope he meant that it's like you don't have to physically like read the book because technologies are read it for you.
Yeah.
But fam, like really reading develops your mind in ways that other things just can't do it. It's just it's just like you need to be able to read text, interpret what you reading, and solve problems in your head, and like let it percolate in there and regurgitate it. Like that's the whole process.
That comprehension, because what he ended up saying, he was like, he just feels that like common knowledge Common, yeah, common.
knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he was like just having common sense.
That's not reading and understanding. I believe common sense is better than everything. I'm a common sense nigga. I'd rather have zero book smarts and common sense, be able to read the room, be able to read life, be able to read people. I try to understand people, understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays you can listen to a book.
It's unbelievable. But I'm like, how do you build that common sense? You have to be able to comprehend what's going on. So like without, he was saying like, I don't mean be illiterate, but like that's kind of like what you're saying. It's like, if you can't comprehend these words and these things that's going on, you're not gonna have that common sense that you're talking about. You need.
Yeah.
Well, it's one more thing. Because he said something. I'm gonna itemize real quick. Like, it's see, that's the thing. So if there would have been a better respect for schooling and what reading and all of that stuff can do, because we learn in my age group, like reading is fundamental.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The mind's a terrible thing to waste. You know what I'm saying? And quote unquote, however many one of phrases and cliches you want to say. The reality of it is that Joel's is right, but he's wrong, in my opinion.
Right.
He's right that, man, you got to have these, but he probably could have said better, you got to have these practical applications of the information versus just reading about theory. You can't, because you can't succeed with just theory. And that's what you get from the book. You got to have the theory and you got to have the practice. So shout out to Allen Iverson, you know what I'm saying? You talking about the game, talking about practice. Like, you got to take what you're reading, but you have to read. You have to get, people putting their life experiences and their mistakes, the nuggets, everything that they learn, they put in these books. And that's where it's at. Right. You're not going to be able to have a conversation with, or have, the little cliche, have a dinner with Jay or $1 million. Right. You're not going to have that opportunity. But if he wrote a book, that's the best thing you got.
That's the dinner with Jay. Yeah.
So read the books, get the information, and to what I think Joel's point is, go out there and apply it and get real life experience that combats or coincides with the knowledge that you've gained from the book and that you're reading. So I just wish he didn't say that.
Yeah. Because he also leaning on AI a lot. Like he's like, AI could do this, AI could do that. But I'm like, but as more sophisticated and as AI is growing, you could just use that excuse to say we don't need to do anything. like
no, I don't think he was and I think he was right about where everything is going. It is getting to a point where you really, I don't agree with it, because you do need to know how to read, you do need to know how to comprehend, you need to be able to read the signs in the streets and just be able to read the application. That's very important, so you won't have a limited vocabulary. But he's also right. In today's time, reading and basic math is something that's dwindling quick due to technology, due to things like OnlyFans, due to streamers. Now all you gotta do is just, you got people like iSpeed or Kaisenet that, they don't say too much of anything. They just turn on the camera and just talk and play, right? So and these people are multi-millionaires, that you got OnlyFans, young women becoming millionaires overnight for just showing feet, right?
That's
so,
that's why.
So,
you paid?
No. So to be honest with you, to combat what he's saying, there's some things that do need to be stopped or governed, or he will be completely right. It will get to a point where you won't have to know how to read. You just need to know. You just need common sense. What do you think it takes to start an OnlyFans? What do you think it takes to be a streamer? What do you think it takes to just do crazy stuff? Little to no thought.
You're at the mercy. I'm gonna say real quick, so I don't really want to jump in there. If that type of person is at the mercy of the things that the people that read build.
Mm-hmm.
That's real.
So if them people are interacting with tools, and if those tools go away, they smoked. Mm-hmm. They have nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That can get questionable.
That's not, because it's like the people that build the tools, that people use that they say they don't need to do these basic things no more. If those tools go away, they don't have anything, and they don't have the know-how to build the things that they
That
need
infrastructure
to eat themselves.
The problem with that is, and I use there's a young lady, she made $43 million in less than a year on OnlyFans.
That's luck, though. That's
so
lucky.
That is luck. But then you also have other young ladies underneath her that's also making millions of dollars. So even if they were to take OnlyFans away, they still got the funds to get whatever else they need to transition to.
It's a small percentage.
I'm saying, but like that's like the gold rush of the old days. Like it's always like a quote unquote gold rush, and everybody get in early with things. But will they be able to sustain that going forward? Will Gen A be able to just do that? I think that they just got lucky in this time.
I know people they blowing that bread too.
Yeah,
they ain't gonna have the money.
Have that information.
Exactly, they gonna blow that money. I think that right now we in a dangerous time because technology is getting smarter and smarter and smarter, but the people getting dumber and dumber and dumber.
Say that, brother.
Because I'm seeing so many arguments with people on my friends list on Facebook and stuff like that. You'll tell them something, and they won't be able to comprehend, and they'll get angry with you, and they want to argue and fight with you. That's a lot of it goes on with text messages. A lot of people miss the whole point of what you're saying, and they take it a whole different way, and they not mature enough to be able to really ask you, what are you saying?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they going to come up with their own conclusion and try to fight you on what they think instead of trying to figure out what's really being said.
Right.
But to take it, and it's a couple things. One step further, in speaking of AI, right? When we bring that into a factor, right? There's a lady that that you introduced me, that you told me about, was a female artist, right? That used AI to sing the songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you hear her speak in person, she's not really well spoken, but she's using the computer she's write something down, put it in AI corrects it, sing it send it to the public, right? So now that's taken away the importance of writing. That's taking away the importance of spelling, punctuations. When you have something doing it for you, then also making you a millionaire simultaneously.
Man, AI is nothing but a tool. It's a tool that people use to do the things that they want to do. But if that tool goes away, where are they left? What are they left with? You got to think about the people that invented those tools are the people that are reading. Those people are doing the work that people that don't want to do it aren't doing. And think about how much money that the person using the tool is making. You may have said and mentioned, oh yeah, they're making $43 million in a year using this tool. But imagine how much money the person that did what they needed to do to read, to improve themselves, what did they do, and how much money they making that built that tool.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even all of that considered, all of that still, if you think about statistics and you think about occurrences and all these different things that happen, that's an occurrence. It distributes in a certain way, in a certain pattern. And that's all the statistics is. It's just studying these patterns. That person that made $43 million is nowhere on that distribution of occurrences. They so far out from the norm, it's not even real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to your point, you know what I'm saying? You said that's like early adopters. Early adopters sometimes take advantage of those situations, and they could, be an outlier, and they're gonna propagate that because they want you to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that background, the basics, the elementary school, if you don't have that basics that you need to be able to create. And I believe we were created to create. And if we're made in the image of God, we're creators. He's the ultimate creator, right?
Uh-huh.
If you can't get the tools that you need to create, then you subjected to the winds of society, and society's going, as you see, it's going to shift, and your poop scooping ain't gonna work.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, that was amazing, man. It was like always. It was amazing talking to you.
Yeah, talking to you too.
310.
Basically, what I really pulled from this podcast a lot is when he mentioned how college is important for the networking and networking in life, period. So I think that is real important for everybody to get to know each other and learn how to talk to each other and respect each other as people so that we could get to that next level.
What about you?
Yeah, I would just say, as far as like, just with the AI point, you can't make AI and the internet and things like that the arbiter of truth. Cause I see a lot of people, they be like, Grok, is this true? Is this true? Like they don't even know how to do their own research and their own comprehension. So you can't make AI your God and arbiter of truth. So I'll just leave that right there.
I agree with that. I like I said, I think it's important to be able to critical think. And you're right. One thing you said, you don't want to have to be victim to where the wind blows. So if you don't have a skill that you can contribute to society, then yes, you are subjected to when things close, what I'm going to do now and panic. But other than that, this is the Kommon Knowledge Podcast. No ID, Mr. 310, and a special guest, Michael McDowell.
Thank you so much for coming through, man.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you. And this guy will be back. He's gonna be back because this is so much.
This is the tip of the iceberg for sure.
Yeah. All right.
I like to use iceberg. People that know, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know.
Long life scholar right here, real positive brother. All right, this is the Kommon Knowledge Podcast, and we out of here. Thank
y'all.
Man, good shit, y'all. That shit was fun.
Shit.
Like me too.